Hello, everybody, and welcome to Secrets of Alteran. My name is Brandon, the DM, your Dungeon Master, Game Master, whatever you want to use for the evening. And tonight I'm joined by our wonderful cast, starting with the grizzled man to my right-hand side.
Hi, everybody. I'm a Whiz Squatch. Hey, everybody. My name is Whiz Squatch, and today I'll be playing Aaron Wand, the Human Ranger.
Who are you, fucking Brody?
Can I have that be in just like 5 more minutes to that, please?
No, absolutely not.
He's Gwiz tonight.
I'm Good Squatch. We come here, gather here today in marriage and matrimony. Steakums, go ahead.
I'm fighting the Spectre with that guy. It's not gonna happen. I better get Aaron back. Hey everybody, I'm Steak. I'm playing Zorthos, the arcane trickster, and I killed a man. And may again.
Canis, Jason, whichever you choose.
And no one's surprised at that. Hi, I'm Jason Russell. You can find me on Instagram and Heaven Help Us TikTok at Critical Dice. And I'm playing Canis Mora, the Dragonborn fighter assumed assassin.
Hitman.
Yes.
Yes. And Chris Squatch. Or not sure. Jesus Christ. Game Master Greg.
Hi, I'm Game Master Craig. I'm playing Laoston, or the artist formerly known as Relcor.
Yes! That's right.
And Thick Pastel.
Oh, it's me, Thick Pastel. And I'll be playing Luna.
She's a snake.
Can I just say every time
Who's
that we do our introductions, Pastel, you have the same intro every time. Hello, it's me, Thick Pastel. Hello, it's me, Thick Pastel. I get deja vu every time you say it.
Would you like me to say something
No,
else?
I like it. It's very consistent. I'm
Would
just
you
saying.
like to
Do something
like me to
better.
Oh, okay. Hi, do you guys have your dice out? What did you think I was going to say?
This all stays in Final Cut.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
We also need a super cut on the YouTube channel.
Got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyways, let's do a little
Final supercut
recap
all
of
of
last
you.
week's episode. Last week, the party met up with Tylor at the Floating Tree Tavern, and little do they know that Canis was actually there as well. After escaping Haxos on a submarine with a Harangon named Mr. Tibbs, the party developed a plan to break out Mr. Tibbs to use the submarine to get back to Haxos so they can make sure that everything's okay there, and also hopefully develop a plan to also get Laoston out to bring them with the party. They made their way to the back of the Northern Spire, where Tylor told them to go to get to the cellars with ease so they could break out Mr. Tibbs and Laoston, and were able to easily take care of the guards with swift scimitars, rapiers, snakes, grappling, and arrows, and Zorthos killed a guard, Assassin's Creed style. The party then made their way down to the cellars to where Mr. Tibbs and Laoston are, and broke Mr. Tibbs out of prison, as well as many other prisoners, thanks to Zorthos' Alki, and Laoston also standing there, however, refusing to go. In the middle of the conversation, there was a Spectre cult member that was also imprisoned here that began to laugh and chuckle and kind of taunt the party, specifically Laoston. However, he was quickly killed with an arrow from Aaron. The party continued to argue with Laoston, and Mr. Tibbs had some actual stern words with him about how he cannot do this alone, despite Laoston being very adamant that he needs to stay here and listen to the Duke. The party began to walk away, and that's where we're starting this week's episode of Secrets of Alteran. Immediately, let's start off with Canis and Luna. You're up top dealing with the guards very easily. Canis, you hold the guard in your hand that is wrapped up in the spool wire and the snake that is Luna. What would you like to do?
I look at him in the like, kind of imagining his eye is already kind of like blackening out from the multiple hits, and I go, "It won't save your consciousness, but it will save your pride. Tell him Canis Mora did it. Punch him in the face until he passes out."
And he is knocked unconscious. Similarly, at the same time, simultaneously at the same time as that is happening, you knock out the guard, and you and Lynn begin to make your way down the cellars, just in time to see and hear the tail end of the discussion/argument the party was having, as you see that Zorthos is beginning to walk away with a little Harangon that is kind of next to him and Aaron. However, Zorthos is kind of leading the way. Yes, Zorthos.
I did have something to yell
Yes.
at Laoston as I was walking away. I was just going to say, however long you've been down here, bud, there's been a spy here, so all the bad guys know where you're at. And I'm just going to keep going. Might give, like, seeing a little pat on the ball because I think that was a good one-liner.
And Xena goes, "Ree."
Hell
He
yeah.
needs to roll out with you.
Yeah.
However, about
I'll walk
halfway
up
down,
to
but-
Tibbs. Yeah. I'll walk up to Tibbs. It's like, you all right?
Ah, my dear friend, Mr. Katniss. It is me. I'm Mr. Tibbs. Nice to see you again.
Can you have us ready to get out of here as soon as we reach the sub?
Absolutely. We just need to make our way down south to where we landed at. Get down there, get in the sub, and get over to Haxos.
And Luna, are you still a snake?
Yes.
Okay, great. As I put Luna Snake on his shoulders. Like,
Ah! Oh my God! No!
no. This is my friend Luna. Be respectful and nice, as
When
though
did you
she
get a
were
snake
me.
friend? I don't remember a snake friend being with you.
There's a great number of things you don't remember. Now, be nice. And I'll kind of like put her on like a little too tight.
Don't worry, I won't hurt you.
See, he's like panicking. He's like, a boa constrictor ate my cousin Jeffrey one time. It was horrifying. I watched the entire process.
Then you know not to piss her off, and I'll walk towards Laoston.
He is
Don't
just
worry, I
frozen in
won't hurt
place.
you.
What did you fucking say? It talk?
Yeah.
Life is weird right now. I am very terrified.
I walk up to Laoston and is like, you look rode hard and put up wet. Come on, we're going.
Can't leave.
Why?
Just told Zorthos this.
Yeah, now tell someone with a mind.
I gave my word to the Duke that I would work with him, and in exchange, my friends would all be safe.
So if you leave, they won't be safe.
If I leave, it'll make all of us enemies of the crown.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we took care of that upstairs.
Wait, what did you do?
We're here with Zorthos. What do you think we did?
Did you kill?
Do you think that these three aren't going to go headlong into the jaws of the wedding spectre?
I could hope that they won't.
But you know better. Now tell me this. Do they have a better chance with or without you?
They have a better chance going about their lives, going back home. Letting one person handle this, one person who can go on and it doesn't need to go back home.
Oh, I see. You're a pessimist. Now I hate you. Do you really think that you can defeat the Spectre alone? Do you really think they're going to go back to their quiet lives and let a madman on a throne deal with this with his secret weapon? Let me answer for you. No. Inside that armor, I like to think you still have a heart. Am I wrong?
Mr. Tibbs is just kind of like looking over.
If it makes you feel better, you're being kidnapped. Now get out the door. Hard stare.
Is this really what it's going to come down to?
If you wish to exchange blows, be my guest.
That may not go
Okay.
well for either of us.
Oh, I'm sure it won't. But you know, I'm still flesh and blood.
Okay, guys, the clock is still ticking.
Mr. Tibbs turns around and goes, I smell a fight brewing in the cellars right now. Laoston, I agree with Candace.
Shut
We are
the
taking...
No.
fuck up, Tibbs.
Mr. Tibbs, you are mistaken. A fight assumes one of the parties here has a chance of winning. I assure you, he does not.
Really?
Walk out the door if you ever cared for Aaron, Luna, and dare I even say Zorthos.
And
You can
me,
hate-
Mr. Tibbs.
Tibbs, I love you to hear in the nine hells, but be quiet.
Yes, sir.
Is Luna there?
You see there's a blue snake around Mr. Tibbs.
Do I know that that's Luna?
Yeah, you've seen Luna enough to with her transformations and wild shapes.
And what exactly does this look like?
You
right
were in a
now?
long prison cell hallway. All the cell doors have been opened up because Zorthos freed everybody. And it's pretty much a long, 150-foot long, just stone, cobblestone hallway with a bunch of prison cell cages. And at the very end, there's a solid wall. That's kind of where you were staying at. And the opposite end, there's a staircase that leads out. Very dimly lit. Moonlight shines in through the bare windows that there are, with like maybe a torch or two that lights the area.
Canis, you know if I leave, you're condemning all of us to be enemies of the crown here.
And?
Is that really what we want? Or should we not be making allies with people?
So you would prefer to have an ally that will throw you in prison?
I would prefer that my friends can go home and not be enemies of the state.
And I would prefer to have a steak dinner, but it's not happening. You want to protect your friends, yes?
Yes.
They are stronger with you. You are stronger with them. I see you have a death wish. Do it on your own time. They need you.
Amazon.
I don't hear you objecting to any particular point, which means I'm right. Walk out the door. They know I'm here. They can blame me all they want.
I'm gonna talk to. This is me talking to Laoston. Laoston, Zorthos already killed a guard, and I did tell them. I told them that you didn't want help, and they won't listen.
The way that this works, if I wait, are you just talking out loud, or is it mental?
No, anytime I'm in form, it's always going to be mental. You won't be able to respond. Yeah, you won't be able to respond to me. I can't hear your thoughts.
He can speak out loud, though, I'm assuming.
Yes. Mm-hmm. He would know that, yeah.
You killed people to get in here?
We're here with Zorthos. Yes.
Take me to the guard that you killed.
Of course. And as we're walking out, I'll kind of pat Luna Snake on the head and then kind of like rub my side of my head.
Okay.
I'm
passing detect thoughts from Aaron to Canis.
I was like, you remember how we can go through those trees, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Okay. And we'll go back outside to the doors where the guard is.
All head outside the doors. Going up the cellars. Zorthos, you are muted.
I was just saying I've been outside.
Zorthos is waiting outside.
I'm hiding in a tree, just waiting for these guys.
You have made your way out. You're kind of just sitting in a tree, just kind of like on the outskirts of where the little pathway is. Everybody, you walk out, and you see that there are two unconscious guards that lay about 30 feet in front of the door, and there is one, indeed, dead guard that has a hole right in the center of his head that lies dead next to the door where the stairs are. Mr.
So
Tibbs
as soon
looks
as
down. Go ahead, sorry.
As soon as Laoston sees this dead guard, he's gonna say, "So you killed people for this?"
Yeah.
But this man died. Didn't have to. Was it worth it?
That is entirely up to you, son.
So be it. And Laoston is going to take off his gauntlet, revealing, which now for the party, this will be the first time they're watching as his body is just disintegrating at this point under the armor. And there's just kind of bone and smoke left behind. And he's going to cast Raise Dead without touching the corpse. He's going to cast Raise Dead on him, which is just going to eat away at Laoston's hand even more.
Some flakes of rusted skin kind of fizzle off of Laoston's hand as he has Raise Dead. on this creature. Now, does he become a zombie or he is?
No, Ray's dead. He comes back with 1 hit point.
Yes, he comes back with him, but he has
It
like
just
like
takes-
exhaustion
it'll-
and stuff. Yeah, he's like weaker. Yes.
It would take me an hour, so just imagine, like, I will stand there for an hour and tell them, I will regroup with you. Get out of here. And I'm going to stay there and wait till that guy's back.
All right, I'm turning on the ring of invisibility, and I'm getting out of there.
Sir Canis,
Yes.
are we going to the sub now?
That would be the most expeditious route, yes.
Very well, Sir Laoston. If you head southeast for about an hour by foot and follow yourself along the eastern coast, you will find a massive rock with an etching on it, and the submarine is hidden there.
Is she there?
Wait! Hold on 1 second. I will be right back. He takes Luna off. Stay right here. Just everybody give me 3 minutes. That's all I need. 3 minutes. You see he jumps in a tree, jumps off of the tree, jumps on the side of the spire, just because climbing up. And you see he is like 200 feet up within a few seconds. And he crashes a window open, and he scuttles in the hole. And you see that he crashes out another window almost instantaneously in a few seconds with a massive sword that is like 3 times his size on his back as he lands on the ground. Heavy shockwave hits. He goes, I am now ready! As he just casually walks forward with the massive sword on his back. We should probably get out of here. I made a lot of noise. People saw me.
I will come out of snake form. Okay.
I'm already moving towards the water. It
Yeah.
seems irresponsible to stay any longer.
I'll say one last thing to Laoston. You seem bound and determined to spend your life, or whatever this is, to solve problems, yes?
Solve one problem.
Seems then the only question that remains is, do you want to solve small problems or large problems with what remains? And I walk away without the answer.
Okay.
Everybody begins to head east towards the river, or towards the ocean. It takes you a little bit of time. I will say you all begin to travel about an hour's east. However, this time, go ahead.
It doesn't have to take us time.
Oh, you're gonna use the tree. Oh, you got magic shit to do. Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah. I can tree stride 500 feet, and in a minute, I can do that 10 times.
And I allow you guys to
Which
take people
is-
with you with Misty Step and stuff like that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and rough math, that's about a mile a minute.
Yes, it's pretty fucking fast. You guys all go to a tree. Laoston, as you are raising dead on this guard that is on the ground, you do start to hear the commotion and rustling of confusion hundreds of feet above you in the spire because of Mr. Tibbs. However, they're more confused rather than in a rush. It's like, what was that? You look over to your right-hand side where the tree line is, and you see the party kind of waves you a goodbye as they, one by one, Luna begins to tree stride everybody. Yes, Zorthos.
Can I cast a spell
Yes, what's
at Laoston before I leave?
Yes.
You gave me a spell a long time ago called Share Memory, and I haven't had a good time to use it again. I would just like to barrage Laoston with memories of the good times and the bad times mixed, fighting with the party. And then I'm just going to salute and hop in the tree.
Laoston, you're raising dead on this guy. And Zorthos, in a very serious tone for the first time in a while, just kind of raises his hand at you, and you see a slight glow come from it. Feel these memories slightly overwhelm you as you remember yourself meeting Luna for the first time, traveling with her to Cantor, meeting the party, seeing Zorthos and Aaron chasing each other around, talking to the Duke for the first time, going to Larnwich, meeting the Otter folk, and all the adventures, despite the good and the bad that you've had with your friends you've met up to this moment. How do you feel right now?
Laoston is not exactly happy, because even amongst all of that, Laoston trying to save them led them to go and kill an innocent. So there's an overwhelming sense of guilt on top of that. But also, like, very angry that they won't just stop.
Mixed emotions flutter through Laoston's mind as the party begins to tree stride. In a matter of minutes, make your way to the ocean side where the SS Tibbs is, as he has renamed it. As you stole it from gnomes, you can see that there is a rock etching on the side where Tibbs 100% like grinded into the side, the SS Tibbs.
With his teeth, right?
Oh, with his teeth, 100%. It was definitely with his teeth. You approach the shoreline. It's very calm. It's very quiet. The moon is high. The only natural lighting you're seeing here is the moon itself, glistening down on the ocean water, the very subtle shore that very calming and relaxing. As you are waiting, Tibbs walks over and you see that he indeed does move a bunch of like branches and debris that he used to cover the gnomish submarine. You all wait around, some time waiting for Laoston. Time goes by and you do indeed raise this person from their death. You get the commotion of the guards taking the matter of Mr. Tibbs a little more seriously as you hear that they are beginning to move down the spire. The guard looks at you. What happened? Shouldn't you be in the cellars? What's going on here? He tries to pull a sword, be so tired and fatigued that he cannot barely move. He's barely standing. What's going on here?
It's an accident. And I'm just gonna put my hand on his weapon and like lower it gently. It's just an accident.
Was I dead? What's going on here?
Nah, you were a little knocked out for a moment, but it's fine now.
Huh.
Best rest up.
How
Took a pretty bad hit on the head.
How are you? You should be down in the cellar. What are you doing?
Rescuing you. That's all.
Rescuing? What happened?
You got hit in the head. That's all it was.
You came out and stopped whatever was happening?
Yeah. That's exactly it.
As you see, he kind of like takes his hand and feels the blood, and like kind of like dripping from his head, and goes, I don't know why you did this or saved me or how you got out, but I must thank you. As he looks over at the other guards that are unconscious on the ground and goes, well, it looks like they're alive as well, but you, what are you doing? Where should you be down in the cellars right now? If the Duke finds out about this, he will surely be angry and enthralled.
Well, you're awake and you can give my regards to the Duke and let him know that this isn't what I had intended. But sometimes destiny forces us to do things that we just don't want to do. And as soon as he says that, he's going to cast invisibility on himself and leave.
As you cast invisibility on yourself, you lift away, and he goes, Wait!
Give my regards to the Duke.
Wait a minute! Please come back!
I'm going to hesitate but like get 20 feet away at least. Like, I'm going to get away from him.
Yeah.
And then hesitate to see if he says anything.
He looks around. He doesn't know where you are. He doesn't think that you stayed. He goes, I don't know what you have in mind, but I thank you. And maybe this is what's best, as Duke Vasorai has lost some of his sense of thought and ways. If he were to send you alone after the Spectre, but you weren't the only one he sent, and none have come back.
And I'm not even going to respond. I'm just going to leave
You leave.
to go and catch up with the group.
The rest of the party, some time goes by. And I guess the main question is, do you wait for Laoston? Mr. Tibbs
do.
tapping his foot over and over and over. Just
Yeah, we're waiting on Laoston. Or I am. That's my vote.
Tibbs, make sure the sub's ready to go the moment he arrives.
oh yes, very well. He hops into the top, and you guys hear. It is all ready.
I get onto the submarine to take a nap.
Tina crawls in with you.
I kind of look at Aaron and Luna as like, so do you think you'll come?
I don't know. I didn't really feel good about any of that, really, but
Well, the
I hope he
minimum we have
does.
to wait is an hour.
That's true. So what do you do next? With or without him?
we go to Haxos.
Yes.
And then? Zorthos said he had contacts?
Yeah, Zorthos is the point of contact, and he has contacts out in Haxos. He knows the lay of the land better than any of us.
Yeah, Zorthos, what's your plan?
He went in the sub.
Orthos went in the sub, take a
Oh.
nap.
I missed that.
Yeah.
I'm magically and emotionally exhausted. I just killed a guy. And I don't fucking like Canis. So I'm going and taking a nap.
That's fair. That's fair.
As you go to take a nap in the submarine, you see that Mr. Tibbs is sitting there just like pulling levers, pulling on shit, cranking left and right. Just like, I think this was the button. This was... No, that is not power off. This is power on. Oh, hey, hello, Zorthos. Okay, this is
Hey,
throttle,
what's
this
up,
is back,
Tibbs?
this is forward, left, right, up, down. Oh, you know, just reteaching myself how to pilot this thing. I've done it 3 times in my entire life. So this would be the 3.5 time that I've ever done it.
That is incredibly thoughtful of Canis to bring you because we need to live. So I love that. Is there an instruction manual I can start reading up on a little bit? I need some light reading to help me get to fucking bed in this death trap. So you
for
got
the
any light reading?
submarine? Absolutely, there would be no kind of instruction manual here. You see, we stole it from the gnomes.
Aha. All right, I'm going to start just watching what he does. And I'm going to spend my time resting, just observing. I'm trying to glean as much submarine information from this fucking rabbit as possible. And I'm going to start taking a piece of paper and writing down the symbols on buttons and what happens when he presses
Gotcha.
them, just in case I have to drive this thing.
As
And I
you
might fall
are-
asleep. I don't know.
Zorthos, are you going to steal the sub? Never mind.
I'm below deck napping.
Okay. No, this is Jason asking.
This is
Zorthos.
Jason asking.
No, I don't want this cracked out rabbit to fucking die and then none of us know how to drive.
meta?
I'm sorry, some of us plan for the future. I want to live, damn it.
Oh, okay. No, self-preservation is not planning for the future. Those are 2 different things. Never mind. Brandon, go ahead.
Zorthos, as you are looking at this, you feel your book flutter open, and the spirit of Colt kind of like comes out and goes,
Oh my god, what do you want, Colt?
"Bro,
Yeah, what?
you killed a guy."
Yeah, well, I got lucky. I was just gonna cut him in the ankle. It slipped, it felt right.
You
Fucking
cut him in
sorry.
the ankle. I saw the entire thing. You
It
stabbed him
was
in
a
the
lip-
head.
It was lucky. And first of all, maybe if you were doing that, you'd still fucking be here, Colt. So you gonna help me memorize buttons, or you gonna
Oh
sit here
wow!
and try
Well,
and
you know
guilt trip
what?
me?
I am not a murderer, so I made it to the Feywild. You're going to the Hells. Congratulations! You know how you don't like Satan? Nope, he's here. You know how you don't like Satan? Yeah, you murdered him one time. You didn't like him at all. Yeah, you're gonna go eat him. You're gonna eat him one day. You murdered a man. Congratulations!
I resist kicking Tibbs in the head and put the book back in my bag and just sit there and patiently watch. I'm now pissed off though. I am angry, so I'm gonna put the book in the bag, sit on top of the bag, and start taking notes again.
You feel your ass just like kind of going up and down as like Colt is like trying to like, oh yeah, remember, you're gonna go down there and meet Pete Asher. He's gonna give you so much shit. I don't like Satan. Look at me, but murder's okay.
I'm fine with murder. Fuck you, Colt.
Uh,
Saving the world. Don't care about individuals.
1 second. Grizz. Zorthos,
Robert.
what did you say to Colt?
I said I don't care about murder. I've got to save people.
You feel that the book stops moving.
Thank God. And I go back to studying buttons.
Grizz, yes.
While all this is going on and we're still waiting, that bag of holding that we got in Haxos,
Yes.
I'd like to turn it inside out.
What?
Thanks everybody for watching. This has been the.
What just happened?
No, hold on. It's okay. It's okay. I came prepared. All right. So what happens next is.
What happens next is... Look,
What happens next is Chris just fucked this entire campaign.
Grizz, you take the bag of... Grizz, you take the bag of holding, you turn it inside out. I need...
Yes.
Fucking goddamn it. Luna and Canis and Grizz, roll me dexterity saving throws.
Oh no.
You look over at
Dirty
Aaron
20.
as he takes the bag of holding and goes, whoop, and you feel just a suction of air being sucked in at a violent rate. What we get for the dex saving throws, everybody?
Dirty 20.
That's gonna be 18 for me.
18 for you. What did Luna get?
That'll be an 8, Pat.
An 8. Luna, as soon as Grizz, or Aaron, flips the bag of holding inside out, you just feel this mass typhoon of air suck in towards the bag. Aaron and Canis, you're able to like hold your ground and like kind of withhold it. Aaron, you're like shaking your hands. Luna, you tumble forward like 20 feet towards Aaron, like towards the bag.
Can I grab her?
Oh yeah, she doesn't like get sucked into the bag. She just hits the ground, but like you can grab her if you want to. So Canis, you plant your foot, you grab her. The air is sucking in towards the bag of holding as you reverse it inside out. Aaron, when you do this, you see that the remaining gear that's inside of it does kind of like shoot out. But then like the air is trying to like suck it all back in. But after a hot minute of you holding the bag inside out, it just kind of like falls limp.
Okay. Okay, so nobody died.
No. I was gonna kill you guys. Just when you take a bag of... the way I imagine a bag of holding is magical. Magic fucking pocket dimension. You flip it inside out. Nothing crazy happens. But when you take a magical pocket dimension and flip it inside out, there's a burst of magic for a hot second.
The magic dimension could have been a vacuum. And this is all of that coming out too.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to be like, all right, well, everybody's dead now.
No, Jesus Christ, no.
I
No,
was
it's
like,
just...
what the fuck?
Zorthos!
At the very least, the astral plane. I mean,
Yeah, no, you flip the bag of holding inside out, magic burst of everything tried to suck back in and re-reverse itself.
It's the
All the shit falls out.
Zorthos last Laoston Mr. Tibbs show now. You guys are gone.
A bunch of miscellaneous gear falls out. Random swords, ropes, daggers, arrows.
yeah. I'll look at Aaron like, you know what? Don't do that.
Yeah, noted. I was
probably
curious.
not.
It got the better of me. Luna, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm. That was a little terrifying. But
She didn't get
I'm,
hurt. It was just a
here.
gust of magic sucked her forward like 20 feet and like kind of made her fall down.
Holy crap. Yeah, I'm gonna go take this to Zorthos. I'm gonna ground myself from this thing.
Do you put it right side in?
Yep! Just grab his... Was there any gold or money that dropped out of this as well?
Roll me a luck check.
14?
Wow, there was 90 gold inside of this bag of holding.
Oh. Pocketing that and then taking the bag to Zorthos.
You pocket the gold. You put the gear back in the bag of holding, or do you leave the remaining gear out, like sprawled across the beach?
I guess I'll put the gear back in too.
You put all the gear back. You flip it. All the shit happens. Zorthos, you're inside. You feel the submarine shake for a hot second, then it stops. Aaron, you pocket the gold. Aaron, you see that, or Zorthos, you see Aaron, kind of walks into the submarine.
What's up, man?
Hey, so some questionable things about me and magic items. We don't mix, and you should hold on to this, and I should not be allowed to touch it.
I agree about that with most things. I'm just gonna take it and put it on, I guess.
Okay,
Grab the
good
bag
talk.
of holding.
And I'm gonna go back outside and wait for Laoston.
Okay.
While he's out there, I'm going to look at Luna and say, can they actually do this?
Which part?
You know, the general plot where they save the world and kill the Spectre.
I fought the Spectre, and I think he killed me out of fear of us, because I think we were pretty close to killing him. I threw a giant constrictor at him, so I think he was about to die. But their hearts are in the right place. But that doesn't mean that they'll win. But, you know, at least they'll try. Someone has to. If they don't, then who else?
That's a good point. Luna,
Hmm.
life is very simple. We're the ones that make it complicated.
That's very true.
Make sure they keep it simple.
Laoston, you begin to walk into the forest after resurrecting the guard that Zorthos had killed. It was a very unexpected moment to you, for this is the first time that Zorthos ever ended a mortal's life that you've known of. After reviving him and him pretty much letting you free under his confusion, you feel drained, you feel tired. And as you look down at your gauntlets in your hands, you can almost feel yourself, pieces of not just your physical body, but soul, liveliness, being ripped away and drifting and trailing behind you. Continue to march into the woods, heading to the direction that the party stated they were going to, the submarine with Mr. Tibbs and Canis. But as you look up to the forest line, under the bright moonlight, things begin to appear to be hazy. You start getting tunnel vision of sorts. How do you continue to proceed?
I'm gonna hesitate for a second and just look around and make sure that I'm on the
God
right.
damn it, hold on one second. Plug this fucker in. Alright, you said you were going to hesitate for a second? Just start from there. Good.
Laoston hesitates and looks around, making sure that he's still on the right path, gets his bearings.
As you look around, you can tell you indeed are on the right path, and it's almost as if you have a gut instinct of you know where the party is going. You know that this is the trail they took. You're very easily able to track down the trail of, you know, the tree strides that they did, them getting in, getting out, the footprints of Mr. Tibbs, Zorthos and Xena's ball, you know, rolling around. You're going the right direction. But you do feel this sense of unease. The forest begins to almost appear to kind of start caving in on itself with every step that you take. Head begins to pound in just confusion. Not misery, just an odd feeling you've never felt before begins to overcome you.
Dread.
As you continue to look around and march forward, roll me a perception check if you could.
If I could. Perception check. That's a 16. 13 plus 3.
With a 16, as you peer around the area, you hear a faint whisper. Relcor. Relcor.
I don't really break line of where I'm going or what I'm doing, but I will like kind of like give him a side look.
You kind of look to the side as you continue to walk forward, and as you slightly peer, See the silhouette of some sort of humanoid kind of hiding behind a tree nearby. As you look, see they real quick go back from behind the tree. Or back behind the tree. You look forward once more, see almost the same thing. Tree ahead of you. Humanoid figure silhouette also kind of arched over a tree, and as you look, hides once more. And as you continue to look around continuously, it's kind of like subtly appearing, not just one person, two people, it's multiple. Relcor, 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 Relcor.
Laoston's gonna get really worked up and just start yelling, "That's not my name!"
As you shout out, the voices come to a stop. You need to look. But then you see out of a tree nearby, in the same direction that you were walking, a woman walks out. Tunnel vision still piercing at your head as you look around and see the trees weave back and forth, pulsating and almost in synchronization with the pounding headache that you have right now. Back and forth, but very clearly a woman, roughly 6 foot tall, blonde hair, very slender. She approaches very slowly. You see that down at her side, behind her, almost cowering, small child. Do me a favor and roll me a history check.
Nat 20.
With a nat 20, as you look at this woman and the small child behind her, you get this piercing, gut-wrenching feeling that strikes you almost like a stab to the stomach or a jab to the head with a knife. As you open your eyes, the only thing you see in the brief second you close them is you laying in bed for just a brief second, looking at the same woman's face, and then looking between the both of you on this bed, the small child. As you open your eyes again, you are in the woods. You see this woman is now almost right in front of you. It clicks with you that in your old life, this was your wife, Elizabeth, and your son, Richard. Relcor, are you coming home now?
I'm not Relcor.
She lifts her hand and she puts it against the side of your helmet that you are wearing. She says to you, "Sweetie, it's okay."
The
We
one
miss
that
you.
you know as Relcor is gone. Relcor doesn't exist.
Relcor existed before the Crusade. It's just that Relcor took a wrong path she thought was right. You can come back to who you used to be.
I am who I am. There's no changing that. I was dropped on this world empty. No memories, no nothing. I may see the memories of Relcor when I look at you, but I don't have the same attachments he would have.
Maybe in this life you don't. But when this form that you're in disperses or is destroyed, then maybe whatever piece of you that you have left will join myself and our son. And you see as she looks up at you, as she's kind of holding the side of your helmet, the moonlight kind of glistens through the trees once more and shines upon her face. And child, you see that initially she had a very clean, smooth-looking skin tone, but as the moonlight shines, you see indeed half of the face is just nothing but skeletal remains and broken skin almost dripping off and melting, and you see the same with the child. And as you see the moonlight shines down upon them, you real quick close your eyes once more in the same wincing, piercing pain, and you see nothing but flames and fire, flashbacks of a village and fire, an outburst, a chaotic event that happened. And you open your eyes again, and it clicks with you that your wife and your child died in some sort of fire in your old life. You continue to think to yourself for a minute, wondering why, how could this happen to me? A good man, a noble human, honest life with a wife and a child, taken, or a natural disaster. Why was it you that survived? Why was it Relcor that survived? Why couldn't have you died in the fire instead of your wife and your child? You didn't know where to go for answers. But somebody deceived you, told you that they would have the answers to bring back your family. Spectre. You open your eyes once more. You see that they still stand there, just looking at you.
More mistakes of a past life. And is she still like holding her hand up to the helmet?
Oh yeah.
So like bony, burnt corpse hand.
Kinda. It's like half, like half corpse, half, flesh and bone. Yeah.
But I'm thinking like Corpse Bride, but
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
A little less claymation.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much corpse bride, but not moving at 24 frames per second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little more ghostly. Laoston's just gonna take her hands. There is no reality where Relcor returns to you. Relcor no longer exists. And when the deed is done here, neither will I.
You don't know that.
I don't.
You can't guarantee that. You don't know
makes
what's
you
going to
think
happen
that?
when this form is gone.
There'll be nothing left of me.
There'll be nothing left of this. But whoever you are, the essence of your life and your spirit, that remains and goes somewhere. And if you
Not when you burn through it. Not when you burn through it like on a fire. There'll be nothing but ashes left. Nothing in those ashes. I'm turning to dust as we speak.
If you are turning to dust so confidently, then what is it that you are fighting for at this moment? Because something is keeping you going.
My friends.
Turns off into the woods in the direction you're heading and looks back at you and says, yes, your friends. They are giving you a purpose. They are giving you something to achieve, some sort of passion, some sort of goal. And I believe that good things happen to good people. You are giving what is left of you, any piece that is left of your soul and your being, simply help some people you met a few weeks ago. That's an act of kindness and good. And there's got to be some force of godly power or intervention out there that will reward you for that. And hopefully return you to rest with myself and your son.
Well, whatever it is, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Because I don't believe that is what's coming for me. How can you look at me and say that there is a heaven or a Valhalla waiting for me when there's nothing but dust and smoke left from where I walk? My body is rotting away. My bones are disintegrating. My soul is evaporating. I've severed my ties to hell. The only way I could draw magic is by using my own soul.
Perhaps maybe your soul isn't being destroyed, but just being taken somewhere else, piece by piece. Melkor, I ask you, do not look at what you're doing to yourself as some sort of punishment. Try to look at it as a way of you trying to find some sort of way of ascendance. And maybe you're right. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the end of the line. Maybe once you use that tiny last flicker of magic and soul you have left in this form, maybe it is gone forever. But myself and your son, we still have hope that wherever this spirit is being taken to or transported to, that it's going to be with us. But if it isn't, she ups and downs you, then at least I know, your son will know, that you weren't lost to the specter. Your soul was lost by protecting people you cared about. And that is what will make you a true hero.
I will banish the specter from this plane before I die.
She grabs you with like both hands, like on the shoulder, and you see that the small child kind of approaches and like puts his hand on your leg. She looks at you, she goes, I know. Then almost like dust in the wind, disappeared, gone. But as the dust in the wind of whatever this spirit was in front of you dissipates, you can feel the pulsing, the beating, the head-ringing sound of the headache and the piercing pain throbbing continuously as the tunnel vision and this fever dream of sorts continues to just get more and more intense. The pathway becomes more and more narrow. Almost a struggle to walk, a struggle to move.
And I'm going to hesitate and stop and just feel the brunt of that.
Do me a favor and roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, I'm good at that. Oh, never mind. 11. 4 plus 7.
You stand and try to maintain your composure in the middle of this tunnel vision type episode you're having. Take a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Then the pain just continues. The path becomes more and more narrow. You almost fall down to your knees, but are able to at least stay standing. As you look down and look up, see that trees around you are dying. The wildlife around you is fading. Almost as if this is some sort of destruction of nature. It continues to close in on itself. Nothing but grayscale black colors. Just the vibe of necrotic and death energy surrounding you. Look ahead and you see the ground beneath you in different areas shakes and rumbles very slightly as skeletal hands begin to crawl up out of the ground, revealing themselves. 1 skeleton, 2 skeleton, 3 skeleton, 4, 5, 6. And to crawl out of the ground and slowly start approaching you. Limping forward. What would you like to do?
Are there more coming up? Or just
You
the ones that are up
see
here? It's
that
like an unlimited amount
in
of
the
them?
immediate area, there's probably like 5 or 6, but as you continue to look around, you see multiple, many, one after another, almost an endless, like, graveyard in this forest of skeletons rising out of the ground.
I would like to roll a either perception or investigation to know where they're coming from.
Okay, go ahead and roll whichever you prefer.
Perception. 19 plus 3, 22. Where are these skeletons coming from?
In the immediate kind of look around, they are indeed just crawling almost out of nowhere, out of the ground. Just almost as if it's uncanny and unreal. But then with a high perception, as you breathe in and breathe out, you don't know if any of this is even real at all. The pain is so immense, you are slipping in and out of almost consciousness as you are continuing to just stumble forward.
Okay.
You can feel the death around you. These skeletal figures are not attacking you. They are merely approaching.
I am going to looking around, like I'm turning around, looking around. They're coming from behind as well, or just in
Yes.
front of me?
All around.
All around.
Yeah. They're not. It doesn't look like they're approaching hostilely. Or just walking. Trying to get close to you. Trying to approach you.
What is it you all want?
You hear the rattling, the shaking of bones. Walking forward. Nothing but inaudible noises as they continue. But then as they approach, they stop. Just weaving back and forth. Almost as if they're waiting for something from you.
Laoston is going to just hesitate and look around and wait and just stand there silently looking at each of them. Are they wearing any kind of distinguishing clothing, or it's just skeletons, bones?
For the most part, really just skeletons and bones. You can tell
So
that
it's
they
just
have
bone
some
daddies.
very tattered clothing of sorts as well, too, but just like commoner stuff.
Okay.
Feel a hand on your shoulder once more. You look and you see it is your wife once again. However, she is, rather than having, half skin and bone, she is definitely more bone than skin this time. Almost as if the flesh is fading away. More and more. And she looks at you and she goes, "My love. That day you went out in the village caught fire. You were one of the only survivors. Your people. We are all waiting for you." It clicks with you. These skeletons, these spirits, whatever you're seeing right now, they're not just random skeletons and spirits. They are the spirits and the skeletons of people of your old village that burnt down. See, she takes her hand once more, and she reaches down, she grabs yours, and she holds it up, and she takes off one of your gauntlets, and reveals the smoky hand, the flesh that is continuing to kind of come off of it, floating in the distance. You regretted the mistakes that you made. Joining with the Spectre, thinking that it was going to bring us back. Did not. That is okay. In the moment you thought you were doing what was right, what would save us. Bring back the people you loved, the family you knew, the home that you were so attached to. We have all been waiting for you. We will continue to wait for you.
Laoston is going to look around, and as he begins to see how many people are stacked up here, it's going to become aggressive and angry. Don't you understand? I am not Relkor. I am someone else. I am something else. These are not my people. These are Relkor's people. I may have his memories, but they are like shades, not real. Can't you understand that?
Can you not understand that there was once a village that looked up to you? One of the greatest fighters we had, protector, family man, loving, caring, compassionate, that simply became twisted by darkness only because he wanted that piece of his life back. You may not think that you are still this person. You very well may not be still. But you must understand, how you feel about yourself does not change how we feel about you still. She grabs your hand a little more, and you see that pieces of the skin and the flesh and the rotting away spirit as they continue to float. You see that she kind of like puts her hand over top and like tries to stop whatever is coming out immediately at the moment. And she holds it to her chest. The skeletal bone remains that she has. And she looks up and she says, "You may not believe yourself or who you are now, but we all believe in who you used to be. And we know that if it wasn't for your true kind-hearted spirit, or your intent to save people, to help those that you care about, this second chance may not have been brought into you. We have been watching. We have been waiting. And we will also be here to assist when needed." See that she takes and squeezes it upon yours a little more. She looks at you and she says, "We will meet again. Some way, some shape, some form."
Where are you?
To be honest, I don't know. I just know that we're waiting. And we'll see you again soon. Don't be afraid to call upon us. As you see, as when she squeezes your hand one last time, some pieces of the soul and the ash and the bone that are floating away from you stop in place for a second. They glow a whitish hue of a skeletal color and kind of go back into your left hand that she is holding. And you see that underneath the smoke, the flesh that is floating away, the spirit that is there is some sort of skeletal hand now that's just kind of floating there, covered in this black aura of spirit that surrounds you. You can very distinctively make out the skeletal hand as you move it around and look at it. And as you squeeze it and grip for a second, and you focus a little bit of arcana around it, it does indeed rip away the soul that is surrounding it. You feel a odd sense of new power, even just a little bit. Do me a favor, roll me an Arcana check.
Arcana check. How's a 4 do?
You don't know what this power does yet, but as you close the skeletal hand, a small burst of soul-like energy burst out from it, and you look and you see all the skeletal remains that are kind of standing upon you, waiting for you to do something, just kind of crumble against the ground. You've been awarded some sort of gift, whether real, rather fake. You don't quite know what it is yet.
Laoston's just going to put the gauntlet back on and look around again. See what the surroundings look like now.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
$24.
The skeletal remains that were approaching you fall to pieces and crumble as you feel the tension. The tunnel vision begins to slightly wear off a little bit. You see that the structures of the trees and the forest ahead of you no longer appears to be caving in and kind of begins to stabilize a little more. And the color begins to come back to it once more as the moonlight shines down, reveals the fresh greenery and the small creatures that are skittering about the woods. For now, everything seems to be slightly normal. Then as you look at your hand one more time, kind of like move the gauntlet out of the way, you see that there is still that skeletal bone It kind of reveals itself when you look at it the right way. Whether this was all real or fake or in your head, you don't know. But the indication of this skeletal hand tells you that something did happen.
Do I know how far I am from the location?
Probably good at least 45 minutes to half an hour.
So it's still going to take a while to get there.
Yeah, a little bit. You still got a little bit of a hike.
Okay. So along the way, Laoston is going to try his best to get inside of, or to just replay the memories of dealing with that girl in the other plane, and just go over that again and again in his head and see if are there any other like determining factors that I would have picked up, a sigil or icon or anything she might have been wearing.
Do me a favor and roll me a history or an intelligence check.
14.
The 14, due to see this weird experience that you just had walking amongst the woods, your memory is a little hazy. You're still a little confused. You're gaining some of your composure back. Casting the spell you did, I believe it was Raise Dead on the dead guard, it took a lot out of you physically and mentally, but you're starting to kind of regain some of your composure. Still blurry. All you remember is this plane of water that you were standing on, this young girl named Sammy. But the one thing you do remember as you looked at her and spoke with her, that she was wearing very royal clothing of higher class, specifically with blue and yellow markings. Blue and yellow being the old colors of what once was the kingdom of Alteran before all the continents separated into their own kingdoms.
So, Laoston, having just seen the deceased child and still processing having dealt with Luna's death, who he sees as another child, he's just trying to focus on figuring out if he can discover anything else, and the priority more or less is going to be figuring out what's going on with that girl in the other plane and discovering how to get her out.
The main thing you can really deduce from this entire situation, you continue to think back, you remember her name, her explaining that she is the daughter of the prince of the originating continent of Alteran. There are 3 main continents. There is Haxos, there is Elvenglade, and then there is the main continent of Alteran. Alteran used to be the main capital city of the entire realm. A great calamity happened about 100 years ago when the Dark One Erebus caused cataclysmic events to happen. During the realm restructure, the continents then split off into their own kingdoms. It clicks with you that a main source of information or where to go from here to figure out where this girl is would in fact indeed be the old originating continent of Alteran. She is of royalty. It is quite concerning that a child of royalty, the daughter of a prince, has been banished away for some reason.
Playing back, Laoston is going to try and channel Relcor's memories for the first time intentionally.
Okay.
To see if he can figure out anything more about this girl, if he's seen the girl before, like if Relcor knew this girl or had seen her before.
Do me a favor and roll me a history or a maybe like a history check.
Good, I have 0 to that. That's a 14.
14. You stop in your tracks for a second and really take a breath in, breath out, and try to unlock whatever memories you can surface of what Relcor used to have. The most you can really remember at this time is you were indeed one of the higher known ranking citizens or fighters of your old village. A great fire happened. It was unfortunately nobody's fault. It just happened. That misfortune. While you were out hunting, you lost your family, you joined the Spectre's cause, believing you could use his powers and abilities that he lied about having to bring them back. But by doing this, you went on many crusades, many adventures, many missions and tasks for him. Listening to everything he said because he promised you something that quite honestly didn't deliver on. One thing you do remember is going on a reconnaissance mission to scope out the main kingdom of Alteran. Now, Alteran itself, being the old main continent and main capital, still remains one of the most heavily fortified and well-guarded cities and areas to this day. And it was foolish of the Spectre to try to have an assault on the main kingdom, which is why he targeted Elvenglade Axos, being as smaller and not as heavily guarded as they were. His main plan at the time was to take over Elvenglade and then Haxos and use combined forces to take over the main capital city. However, he failed almost immediately when he attacked Elvenglade, resulting in his death. And you would know that with this newfound power and ability that he has, and this control he has, he's putting that act into play once more. He has, what you know right now, possibly taken over Haxos, caused a great blow to Elvenglade, with tension between the two continents, with his primary goal always having been the main continent of Alteran. You cannot remember too much about the girl, but there's too much coincidence of her being from royalty of that main continent, and you going once on a reconnaissance mission there to scope out their defenses, or not to be related in some way, shape, or form.
Would I know a secret way in? Or would I have figured out a way into the city without breaching, like, the gates? Or, you know, if I was on a stealth mission or recon mission, would I have figured out how to get inside?
Do me a favor, roll me another history check.
Another 14. Plus 0.
The defenses of the main capital city and continent itself, again, are some of the most heavily guarded in the entire realm. You were able to, however, go on a successful recon mission. However, it was not in a high capacity or high number amount of people. It was maybe 3 or 4 people you went with. Smuggled in on a ship. Found a trade ship that was willing to work for whatever, as long as everything was under wraps with a set amount of gold. They were paid very heavily, but you made your way in, smuggled in some boxes and containers, brought to one of the shipping docks that lies on the northern coast of the main city, and then you were released from there. Different disguises and clothing, you continued to walk around the city itself. Did realize that quite literally going to the front door of one of these walls or capital gates would prove unsuccessful. However, with the right contacts and the right people, it is possible to get in unnoticed.
Interesting. So the Empire is the end game.
May well be.
Is everything else still look the same? Does the area look normal, or is it changing?
Everything looks pretty well normal to you now. When you had these flashbacks and really close your eyes to think about the memories of Relcor, you did begin to get that tunnel vision, kind of like closing in claustrophobic feeling. But then as you kind of like refocus yourself and stop thinking about the past and the history, things kind of start to smooth it out once more.
I don't think I have any abilities that would help me out right now. I think that's with that kind of realization, I think Laoston's just going to make double time to get to the boat.
You all wait for some time as the SS Tibbs powered up and waiting. It's almost as if this night takes way too long, but it's merely just an hour. As you see, indeed, walking out of the tree line, Laoston. Laoston, you see that your friends await you at this beach side. As you hear the of the SS Mr. Tibbs submarine, powered up, ready to go. Yeah.
Is Aaron outside? I believe he said he was sitting outside. They were
Back
waiting
out,
outside.
Yep, I went
Yep.
back outside.
So there's no one else, just Aaron.
No, it's
No.
Everyone but Zorthos.
And Mr.
And
Tibbs.
Mr. Tibbs.
Yeah, I'm going to approach and just get on board. And I assume everybody's standing close together, right? Within
Yes.
earshot of each other.
yeah.
All right, let's go.
Laoston
Okay.
approaches and begins to board the SS Mr. Tibbs. Followed by Luna and Aaron. Janice, are you going or are you staying?
No, I think I'll kind of like follow Aaron, and then when he gets in, I'll just kind of close the door behind him, turn the wheel to lock it, and bang on the side. All right, Tibbs, cast off.
Oh! Mr. Canis, are you not coming with us?
No, I think I'll stay a spell.
Well, hopefully we meet again one day, and we can rob more submarines from gnomes. I had a glorious time doing that with you.
Yeah, we'll do just that. Maybe we can steal bombs from hobgoblins.
That would be fucking fantastic. We could use them to kill the blue-eyed people.
Now you're cooking.
Mr. Canis, I have one request for you if you could.
Sure.
I am quite not too fond of Haxos, the continent we were on. Too many rocks and mountains. Would you be able to maybe find a place where I could build New Bunia here on this continent?
I'll do what I can. I'll be busy staying away from the gods, after all.
I agree. I want to stay far away from the city as possible. No civilization, just nature.
I'll do what I can. After all, I am a famous kidnapper.
Wait, what?
I'm a,
Cast off.
Very well. Let's see.
I'm gonna say one thing to Canis in his brain.
Yes,
Unless the submarine is made of lead.
you can
Nope.
say it.
Okay. Try to get the word out there about the Spectre. The more people that know, the more that can prepare.
I'll do what I can. After all, we just let a whole mess of ne'er-do-wells loose. I think they need some purpose.
True.
As the SS Tibbs reverses backwards into the ocean, undocking from the beach sand, Canis, you stand among the beach watching the SS Tibbs submarine slowly submerge underwater. Turn back around, begin walking your way back onto the continent. Do whatever it is that Canis does.
Yeah, I'll watch them kind of like slowly pull away and start to sink into the water and go, everyone's a blessing. Some when they come, some when they go. Everyone's a blessing. And then walk into the tree line.
God, that guy's so cool. Mr. Chip goes, God, that guy is so cool. I love him so much. He is great. Anyways, tally ho, folks. We're going to Haxos, is it right?
Yes, Tibbs.
Wonderful. As he turns.
Watch the barometer. Tibbs!
I know what I'm doing. I've done this once or twice.
I'm gonna use my my invisible mage hand to help press buttons that this guy misses.
100%. You see that?
Watch Zorthos and Tibbs now on Saturday mornings, only on the WB.
The Zorthos and Tip show.
Canceled. Doesn't get past the pilot.
Just the pilot. But man, that pilot is like Ships of the Northern Fleet. It's legendary.
But they made the mistake of having the merchandise made before the show was picked up.
So much
no.
so much merchandise. There's a whole warehouse in Jersey. Nothing but Zorthos and Tibbs.
A tiefling and a rabbit and a mouse.
It is the perfect team. It's much
what
better
could
than
go
this
wrong?
one. Yeah, I'm taking my Xena and my rabbit and I'm going by myself.
Now streaming on Peacock TV. No one has Peacock.
I have Peacock.
Okay, well, of course.
That sounds
Why am I not
about right.
surprised?
And what can you deduce from that little syllogism there, Brandon?
Anyways, the SS Tibbs begins to head towards Haxos. Submerged underwater, Zorthos assisting Mr. Tibbs, Aaron and Luna and Laoston, you stand reunited once again with your party. Anything you would like to say to each other, or is this going to be a very awkward and silent ride?
I'm gonna go and tell where's Zorthos?
He is
Zorthos?
right.
Jeez,
It's
right?
very. It's not very big.
Where's
It's
Zorthos?
like 15 feet long, one long steel container wall. It's not a massive submarine.
I'm just going over to Zorthos and I'm gonna like get near him and be like, "The guy's alive."
It's great, Laoston. I'm glad you're here.
Thought you'd
What?
like to know.
can't-
I don't care about him, Laoston. We needed you. You knew we needed you. We don't have to argue. We don't have to get along. We have a duty, though, and we have to kill the Spectre. You might think you're protecting us by not being around, but I'm still going to go fight him. It says Supreme on my backpack for a reason, and I'm not stopping so that you can go on some murder rampage. I'm fucking stuff up. You can be around for that or not, but I got a new friend. I'm going to just grab Mr. Tibbs by the shoulder, and I'm like, he's not going to abandon me until he finds his promised land.
I will
Damn it,
never
need to
abandon
do
you,
the
Mr.
same.
Zorthos. We are friends now.
Feels nice.
As you wish. And
Looks-
Laoston walks away.
Mr. Tibbs looks around and looks at Laoston and goes, "And Sir Laoston, thank you for joining us. We are also friends. Luna, we are also friends. Aaron, we are also friends. We are all friends here.
Tibbs, you're really, really watering down what we had.
I am very sorry. I don't know how to shut my mouth. I will continue to pilot the submarine."
You need to
Cast
slow those
silence.
down.
I cast silence on wherever Mr. Tibbs is.
That's better.
You see, he doesn't realize that he's silenced and just keeps talking, yapping his mouth.
I start furiously clicking the correct buttons that he's supposed to be clicking right now.
Aaron,
Wherever Tibbs is, and as long as I got spell slots for it, I'm casting silence wherever Tibbs is for this entire fucking sub, right?
Aaron and Luna, anything you'd like to say to Laoston?
Sorry that that everything happened the way that it did. I know you were trying to do the right thing. I want you here too. But I don't want you to have to sacrifice what you think is right just because I want you to be here. So seems like it's weighing you down.
Luna, I'm dying.
I know.
If I could at least die to keep you guys safe, then it would be worth it.
Yeah, but you can't really do that locked up in a cell under the Duke's fucking beck and call, can you?
The Duke was going to get me close to the Spectre. Alone.
He's gonna send you on a suicide mission.
Well, to be fair, the Spectre also is following us around pretty much. So, as noted by that Spectre thing that you had there in the cell next to you, he knew you were there. At this point, I just feel like we should just go to in the middle of a plane somewhere and say, "F you, Spectre, coming at me," and then he'll just show up. It seems like their eyes are on us already, so you didn't need to be in that cell if you didn't want to, but I'm sorry that you're pressured to leave.
It would have kept you guys safe. That's all I wanted to do.
Safe from Elvenglade, but that's it. And you
as
said
Luna,
yourself you're dying.
and as Luna says, safe from Elvenglade, continue heading forth on the SS Tibbs. You all feel a something rocking and bashing the submarine, sending you back and forth and swaying, crashing. Mr. Tibbs turns around and speaks out loud and goes, as he cannot.
I drop
express-
concentration.
No. We'll figure it out. Leave it up.
No, I drop concentration.
We'll figure it
You
out.
drop
Oh,
concentration, and Mr. Tibbs
Oh, it
says,
is it?
Is
No,
what?
I don't think it is. Let me look up that description real fast. Concentration up to 10 minutes.
You drop concentration on silence, and Mr. Tibbs goes, "It appears that a massive aquatic creature is attacking us and thinks that we're dinner. Everybody prepare yourselves." And that's where we're ending this week's episode of Secrets of Alteran.
I hate it here.
I hate it here.
I hate it here.
Thank you everybody so much for watching this week's episode of Secrets of Alteran. My name is Brandon the DM, your Dungeon Master, and thanks for joining us. Let's do a little bit of outro for the night. Grizz Squatch, anything you'd like to say, buddy?
So, when trapped in a metal tin can under the ocean, if the whole bus, the bins is a thing, just saying.
Let's go to Game Master Craig.
There's always a bigger fish.
Always a bigger fish.
And we're underwater. I just want to know if we're gonna go see the Gungans, because that's all I care about now.
Well, in this
I
realm,
left this campaign at the right time.
in this realm, it would be the Bullywugs. So, Luna, Thick Pastel, anything?
Hey, it's me, Thick Pastel. Still have that dice bag handy? I'm on Twitch too. Okay, bye.
Hey, bye. Let's go to Jason, guest of honor for the past 2 episodes. Anything, bud?
Hey, I'm Jason Russell. You can find me at Critical Dice on Instagram and Heaven Help Us TikTok, and also as the Dungeon Master for the Tavern Guard on Quincy's Taverns Twitch channel most Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, and Jason, thank you so much for joining us for the second
Oh, you're
time
welcome.
over on Secrets of Alteran. You were
This was
definitely a fan favorite when you came on the first time, and people have been asking for you back, and I'm happy that you are willing to deliver with
Absolutely.
good old Canis. And hopefully this isn't the last time that we see him. I don't know, we'll see.
Hopefully, as always, thank you for inviting me to your dumpster fire.
Thanks. You know what? It's a dumpster fire that we're proud of. You know, it's like
Absolutely.
nice hot.
Keeps you
trees.
warm.
Keep-
No one's
keeps you
complaining when the
warm.
wind's blowing.
And Steakums, what's our fun fact for the evening before we head out?
I'd also like to thank our guest for coming on to the show. It was very nice to have you. The fact of the day is if you were at sea level, each square inch of your surface is subjected to a force of 14.6 pounds, and the pressure increases about 1 atmosphere for every 10 meters of water depth. So watch as we are slowly forced into a puddle and murdered as the submarine sinks.
And that is foreshadowing for next week's episode of Secrets of Alteran. We will see everybody next Friday. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye, Grizz's mom.
Bye, Grizz.
Bye, Grizz mom.
I'm the best one. Remember that, Grizz's mom.